The hospital room was small but cozy, decorated with a string of flickering Christmas lights taped to the wall. A small artificial tree stood in the corner, adorned with handmade ornaments crafted by the children in the pediatric ward. Max, an 8-year-old boy with wide, curious eyes and a face pale from countless treatments, sat cross-legged on his hospital bed. His frail frame was wrapped in a Star Wars blanket, a nod to his fascination with space and the endless galaxies he dreamed of exploring. Despite the cheerful decor, the weight of the season pressed heavily on the room, a reminder of what might be his last Christmas. Max's parents, Karen and Tom, sat nearby, their faces etched with exhaustion. They had tried to hide their worry, forcing smiles as they helped Max open a few early presents, a model rocket, a book on space exploration, and a Tesla toy car. But Max's joy was tinged with something deeper. He loved the gifts, but they weren't the adventure he truly longed for. "Mom, do you think Elon Musk reads letters from kids like me?" Max asked suddenly, his voice quiet but filled with hope. Karen exchanged a glance with Tom, her throat tightening. "He's a busy man, sweetheart," she said gently, brushing a hand through Max's soft, thinning hair. "But there's no harm in trying." Max reached for his notebook, pulling it into his lap. He wrote slowly and deliberately, his small hand trembling slightly as he formed each letter. "Dear Mr. Musk, my name is Max, and I'm 8 years old. I'm not feeling very well, and the doctors are trying their best to help me. I love space and rockets, and you're my hero. I have one big wish, to meet you and see one of your rockets. Even if it's just for a minute, it would mean everything to me. Thank you for everything you do. Your biggest fan, Max." When he finished, Max looked up at Karen, his face lighting up. "Can we send it now?" A nurse, overhearing the conversation, stepped into the room with a warm smile. "I'll make sure it gets to the right place," she promised, taking the letter with a sense of determination. The letter's journey began that evening, stamped and addressed to Elon Musk's office. As the postmark was pressed, the story shifted to Tesla headquarters, where the bustling energy of innovation and ambition filled every corner. Elon Musk sat at the head of a sleek conference table, his mind racing through blueprints, numbers, and deadlines. Unbeknownst to him, a child's dream was now en route, quietly vying for his attention amid the chaos of his empire. The Tesla headquarters in Palo Alto buzzed with relentless energy, even during the holiday season. Engineers huddled over prototypes, their faces illuminated by the glow of monitors. Assistants darted through hallways with tablets and notepads, while Elon Musk's booming voice echoed from a nearby meeting room. Musk, dressed in his signature black t-shirt and jeans, paced before a large screen displaying a rocket design. His hands gestured animatedly as he discussed SpaceX's next ambitious launch. "We're not just designing rockets," Musk said, his tone intense. "We're building the future of humanity." Amid the whirlwind of innovation, a small envelope arrived at the front desk. The receptionist glanced at the sender's name, Max, age 8, and smiled faintly before placing it in the day's incoming mail pile. By the time it reached Musk's assistant, the urgency of its message was drowned in a sea of contracts, blueprints, and proposals. "This one's from a kid," the assistant murmured, flipping the letter in her hands. She glanced at the headline of the email on her laptop. "Critical project update needed by EOD." Without a second thought, she slid Max's letter into a drawer marked non-urgent. Meanwhile, Musk was in his element, presenting an updated roadmap for Tesla's next-gen vehicles. As he outlined ambitious production goals, his mind raced with numbers and logistics, far removed from the quiet plea of a young boy who idolized him. Musk's philosophy, time is money, left little room for sentimentality. Back in the hospital, Max lay in bed, gazing out the window at the night sky. He imagined rockets streaking across the stars, wondering if Musk had read his letter. Every time the door opened, his heart leaped, hoping for news. "Do you think he'll write back soon?" he asked Karen, his voice tinged with both hope and exhaustion. Karen forced a smile. I'm sure he will, sweetheart. Sometimes these things take time. As Max drifted off to sleep, clutching his model rocket, the letter remained untouched in a drawer at Tesla HQ, a poignant reminder of the small yet profound dreams that often go unnoticed in the shadow of ambition. The hospital room felt heavier with each passing day. The flicker of Christmas lights, once a cheerful reminder of the season, now seemed dimmer. Max's health had begun to decline noticeably, his energy waning and his laughter becoming a rare sound. Karen and Tom watched helplessly, their conversations carried in hushed tones, as if speaking louder would shatter their fragile hope. One evening, as Max dozed off after another exhausting round of treatments, Karen sat beside his bed, scrolling through old photos on her phone. There was Max, grinning ear to ear in a homemade astronaut costume, holding a paper rocket he'd crafted himself. The sight of his unyielding passion for space tugged at her heart. "We can't just sit here and do nothing," she whispered to Tom, who was leaning against the windowsill. His face was etched with the strain of watching their son slip further away. "What can we do?" he asked, his voice heavy with doubt. "The letter. It's been weeks. We haven't heard anything." Karen didn't answer immediately. Instead, she opened her phone's camera app and framed Max, peacefully asleep, clutching his model rocket. "Maybe it's time we tell his story," she said, determination flaring in her eyes. The next morning, from their modest living room, Karen and Tom recorded a heartfelt video. With Max sitting quietly between them, Karen spoke directly to the camera. "This is Max," she began, her voice steady but thick with emotion. "He's 8 years old, and he's always dreamed of going to space. His hero is Elon Musk, and he wrote him a letter asking for just one thing, to meet him and see a rocket. Max is very sick, and we're running out of time. We're asking for your help to make his wish come true." The video was raw and emotional, ending with Max shyly saying, "Thank you, Mr. Musk," before offering a small, hopeful smile. They posted the video across social media, tagging Musk and SpaceX. It gained traction almost immediately, shared by friends, family, and even strangers. But with the attention came backlash. Some commenters accused the family of exploiting Max's illness for clout. "This is just another sob story to guilt a celebrity," one user wrote. Karen tried not to let the negativity deter her. "It doesn't matter what they say," she told Tom as they monitored the video's progress. "If even one person shares it with Musk, it's worth it." Through the noise, a growing number of supporters rallied behind Max's dream, urging others to help amplify the message. Slowly but surely, the video began to make waves. The internet has a way of taking even the quietest whispers and turning them into roars. A few days after Karen and Tom posted their video, it caught the attention of a popular YouTuber known for philanthropy and advocacy. With millions of followers, this creator was no stranger to amplifying meaningful causes. In a heartfelt video titled "An 8-Year-Old's Dream That Needs Your Help," the YouTuber replayed Max's story for their audience. "This is Max," they said, pausing on the image of the shy boy clutching his rocket. "He's terminally ill, and all he wants is to meet Elon Musk. Together we can make this happen." The video went viral almost overnight, garnering millions of views within hours. Fans began tagging Musk relentlessly across all platforms, flooding his Twitter mentions and Instagram comments. Meet Max quickly became a trending hashtag. Influencers, celebrities, and even NASA engineers started sharing the story, adding their voices to the growing chorus. "He's just a kid with a dream," tweeted a well-known actor. "Come on, Elon Musk, make it happen." Meet Max. Meanwhile, news outlets picked up the story, broadcasting Max's video alongside the hashtag. Morning shows debated the ethics of the situation, questioning why Musk hadn't responded. "Does Elon Musk have a responsibility to fulfill this wish?" asked a television anchor, her tone skeptical. "Or is this putting undue pressure on him?" For Max's parents, The overwhelming support was both heartening and terrifying. "It's happening so fast," Karen said, watching the video's view count climb into the millions. "I just hope Elon sees it." At the hospital, Max's spirits lifted as the nurses played a clip from the YouTuber's video on a tablet. "They're all talking about me?" Max asked, his eyes wide with amazement. "They are," Karen said, brushing a tear from her cheek. "The whole world knows your dream now, Max." Unbeknownst to them, Musk was finally being made aware of the growing storm. Sitting in his Tesla office, his assistant hesitated before placing a tablet on his desk. "You might want to see this," she said, her voice tinged with urgency. Musk glanced down at the screen, his brow furrowing as he played the video of Max. The words, "terminally ill" and "all he wants is to meet Elon Musk" echoed in his mind. The weight of the story, and the world's eyes on him, pressed heavily on his shoulders. Elon Musk sat alone in his expansive living room on Christmas Eve. The glow of a crackling fireplace reflected off the minimalist decor, casting shadows on the stark white walls. Outside, the city sparkled with holiday lights, a stark contrast to the quiet within. Musk was nursing a whiskey on the rocks, scrolling through emails on his tablet when his phone buzzed. It was May, his mother. Her voice carried its usual warmth but had an undertone of seriousness. "Elon, I assume you've seen the video." Musk frowned, his thumb pausing mid-scroll. "What video?" "The boy. Max. Everyone's talking about him." Elon sighed, feeling a flicker of irritation. "I don't have time for every viral video, Mom. The internet is a perpetual outrage machine." "This is different," she replied firmly. "You need to watch it. I'm sending it now." Reluctantly, Musk opened the link May had sent. The video played on his tablet, filling the room with Max's small voice. Musk leaned back, his expression unreadable, as the boy described his admiration for Musk and his dream of meeting him. When the video ended, the boy's hopeful smile lingered in Musk's mind. He set the tablet down and took a long sip of whiskey, his thoughts racing. He could feel the weight of the public's scrutiny pressing down on him. Already his social media was flooded with mentions, the hashtag #MeetMax dominating his notifications. He knew the situation was escalating. But then a familiar defensiveness bubbled up. "I can't say yes to everyone," he muttered aloud. "If I do this, every request will come with the same expectation." He paced the room, wrestling with his thoughts. His mind drifted to his childhood in Pretoria, South Africa. He remembered being a young boy obsessed with science and invention, spending hours reading books about rockets and dreaming of building something extraordinary. The memory of those early dreams struck a nerve. "What if no one had believed in me?" he thought. The image of Max lying in his hospital bed, clutching his model rocket, replayed in his mind. The sound of his assistant's voice on a voicemail interrupted his thoughts. "Elon, we need to talk about the Max situation. The media storm is getting out of hand." He sighed heavily, torn between his pride and the growing sense that this wasn't just another viral moment. As he looked out the window at the city below, he felt the weight of a decision that wasn't just about PR but about something deeper: human connection. The storm had reached its peak. Across social media platforms, the hashtag #MeetMax dominated trending lists worldwide. Every post seemed to either support Max's wish or question Musk's silence. Celebrities weighed in, from actors and musicians to tech moguls and astronauts. "Come on, Elon Musk," one tweet read. "The kid admires you. Make his Christmas dream come true. Meet Max." Even NASA's official account joined the conversation, posting a photo of a rocket launch with the caption, "We believe in the power of dreams. What about you, Elon Musk? Meet Max." The media frenzy was relentless. News anchors debated the situation on morning shows, with some criticizing Musk's lack of response. For someone who claims to care about the future, he seems pretty indifferent to the dreams of a sick child, one panelist remarked. At Tesla headquarters, the PR team scrambled to control the narrative. In a tense meeting, the head of communications laid out the situation bluntly. "Silence isn't an option anymore, Elon," she said, her tone firm. "This isn't just about Max. It's about how people perceive you. Right now, the perception is not good." Musk sat at the head of the table, his expression impassive but his mind churning. He hated being cornered, and this felt like a trap. "So, you're saying I have to do this because it's good for my image?" he asked, his tone laced with irritation. "It's not just about your image," another team member interjected. "It's about showing people that you care. This story has captured the world's attention. If you ignore it, it's going to stick with you." Musk leaned back in his chair, rubbing his temples. The weight of the decision felt heavier now, amplified by the relentless pressure from all sides. He hated being forced into action, yet he couldn't deny the truth in their words. The breaking point came when a close friend sent him a text. "Elon, this isn't about you. It's about him. Don't overthink it. Just do the right thing." For a moment, Musk closed his eyes, shutting out the noise of the room. He thought of Max's small voice in the video, the innocent hope that hadn't been crushed by the harshness of reality. He opened his eyes, his jaw tightening with resolve. "Fine," he said at last. "Let's make this happen." The room exhaled collectively, the tension easing. But for Musk, the decision wasn't just about appeasing the public. It was about living up to the ideals he had once dreamed of as a young boy staring up at the stars. The hospital room was quiet on Christmas morning, the hum of machines blending with the faint sounds of carols playing from the nurse's station. Max lay in bed, his energy low, but his eyes sparkled as he admired the small gifts his parents had placed on the table beside him. A nurse peeked in with a cheerful, "Merry Christmas," before disappearing down the hallway. Karen and Tom sat nearby, sipping lukewarm coffee and trying their best to maintain the holiday spirit. They had resigned themselves to another quiet day, unaware of the surprise that was about to unfold. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door, followed by the sound of footsteps. Karen turned, her eyebrows knitting together in confusion. The door swung open, revealing Elon Musk himself, dressed casually in jeans and a blazer, his face lit with a warm smile. Behind him, a small crew with cameras stood ready to capture the moment. Max's eyes widened, his jaw dropping in disbelief. "Mr. Musk," he stammered, his voice barely above a whisper. Elon stepped forward, extending his hand. "Merry Christmas, Max. I heard you're a big fan of rockets." Max nodded vigorously, his face lighting up with a joy that seemed to fill the entire room. Karen covered her mouth, tears streaming down her cheeks, while Tom stood frozen, trying to process what was happening. "I thought I'd come by to meet you in person," Musk continued, kneeling beside Max's bed. "And I brought something special for you." He gestured to an assistant who handed him a sleek box. Inside was a miniature Tesla car, painted red, with Elon's signature scrawled across the hood. "For you," Musk said. "A small reminder that innovation starts with dreams." Max beamed, running his fingers over the car. "Thank you, Mr. Musk. This is the best Christmas ever." "And it's about to get even better," Musk added with a wink. "I want to invite you and your family to a private tour of SpaceX. You'll get to see our rockets, try out a simulator, and even meet some of the engineers who make it all happen." Karen let out a soft sob, pulling Tom into a tight embrace. Max, overwhelmed with excitement, looked at his parents for confirmation. "Can we go?" he asked, his voice trembling with hope. Tom finally found his voice. "Yes, Max. Absolutely." The crew captured every moment, but it wasn't for publicity. It was to document a memory Max and his family could hold on to forever. A week later, Max and his family arrived at the SpaceX facility in Hawthorne, California. The air was crisp, and the excitement was palpable as Musk himself greeted them at the entrance. "Welcome to SpaceX," he said, motioning toward the towering Falcon 9 rocket that dominated the skyline. For hours, Max was in his element. He explored the control center, asked engineers detailed questions about propulsion systems, and even tried his hand at the rocket simulator. Musk stayed by his side, patiently answering questions and marveling at Max's enthusiasm. Toward the end of the tour, Musk led the family to a private observation deck. "There's one more thing," he said. "We've scheduled a rocket launch in a few days, and I want you all to have front row seats." Max's face lit up again, and for the first time in weeks, Karen and Tom felt like they could breathe. They had watched Max's health decline so rapidly, but now, his spirit seemed stronger than ever. But Musk wasn't finished. Standing before a small group of journalists, he made a surprise announcement. "Today I'm proud to launch a new initiative, inspired by Max, to support terminally ill children who dream of exploring STEM. We'll be partnering with hospitals and schools to create opportunities for kids to visit SpaceX and meet our team. And to Max's hospital, we'll be making a donation to ensure every child there has the chance to chase their dreams." The crowd erupted in applause. Max's parents stood off to the side, tears streaming down their faces. "Thank you," Karen whispered, her voice cracking with emotion. The following days were a whirlwind. Max and his family attended the rocket launch, their VIP seats offering a perfect view of the Falcon 9 as it roared into the sky. The sound of the crowd cheering, combined with the sheer awe on Max's face, was a memory they would treasure forever. Though Max's health remained fragile, the experience gave him a renewed sense of purpose. "One day, I'm going to build something just like that," he told his parents on the way home, his voice filled with determination. For Elon Musk, the experience left a profound impact. As he reflected on the events of the past week, he realized that while building the future of humanity was his mission, moments like these were what gave it meaning. Sometimes the biggest changes started with the smallest of dreams. The days following Max's visit to SpaceX were a whirlwind of positivity and celebration across social media platforms. The hashtag #MeetMax had evolved into Dream Big, with thousands of users sharing their stories of inspiration and kindness. Photos of Max with Elon Musk, clutching his miniature Tesla car, circulated widely, accompanied by heartfelt captions about the power of dreams and compassion. "This is what Christmas miracles look like," one post read, featuring a video of Max's joyous reaction to meeting Musk. "Thank you, Elon Musk, for showing us the importance of kindness." The impact didn't stop there. Other billionaires and influential figures began to take notice, with some even launching their own initiatives. A tech CEO announced a program to mentor children interested in coding, while a renowned athlete pledged to fund athletic training programs for underprivileged youth. Philanthropic efforts seemed to ripple outward, inspired by Musk's act of generosity. Meanwhile, news outlets framed the event as a turning point in how high-profile figures interacted with the public. Musk's actions show that even amidst global ambitions, small personal gestures hold immense value, a prominent columnist wrote. In the midst of this newfound attention, Musk found himself reflecting on his own priorities. Sitting in his private office late one evening, he scrolled through messages from parents and children thanking him for inspiring them. One letter caught his eye, a young girl's drawing of a SpaceX rocket with the words, "When I grow up, I want to work with you." Musk leaned back in his chair, the weight of the moment sinking in. His time had always been measured in innovation, deadlines, and global impact. But Max's story reminded him that true influence wasn't just about building rockets. It was about connecting with people, especially those who looked up to him. For the first time in years, Musk began reevaluating how he balanced his drive for innovation with the human stories that surrounded his work. "It's not about time," he murmured to himself. "It's about making the moments count." A few months later, the story of Max and his Christmas miracle had become a lasting symbol of hope. Though Max's health remained fragile, his family cherished the experiences they had shared, keeping the memories alive through photos and videos. Karen often revisited the clip of Max standing at the rocket launch, his eyes wide with awe as the Falcon 9 roared into the sky. That was his happiest day, she told a local reporter in an emotional interview. He felt like he was part of something bigger, like his dreams mattered. Max's story continued to inspire others. Schools across the country adopted programs to introduce children to STEM fields, and Musk's initiative for terminally ill children gained traction, with other organizations joining the effort. Families shared their gratitude, recounting moments of joy their children had experienced because of the program. For Musk, Max's story marked a personal transformation. At a SpaceX press conference, he addressed the public, speaking candidly about the experience. "Max taught me something I'd forgotten," Musk said, his voice steady but introspective. "Dreams are powerful, but they're not just about the future. They're about the present, too. It's easy to get caught up in the big picture, but sometimes the most important thing you can do is listen and act in the moment." His statement resonated deeply, garnering applause and further solidifying his newfound role as not just an innovator, but a symbol of empathy and humanity. Months later, at a highly anticipated rocket launch, Musk stood on the observation deck, his gaze fixed on the night sky. The event had been dedicated to Max, whose legacy now lived on through the children he had inspired. As the countdown began, Musk took a deep breath and looked toward the stars. "This one's for the dreamers like Max," he said quietly, a small smile playing on his lips. The rocket ignited, illuminating the sky with a brilliant burst of light. As it soared upward, Musk felt a profound sense of connection, not just to the stars he had always chased, but to the countless lives his work had touched. The dream of space, the dream of progress, was no longer his alone. It belonged to everyone. Want to hear more of this? Then click on the video on the right-hand side, which is even more insane.